Hey everybody, welcome back to Power Play. I'm joined as always by Chris Uminski. And Chris, I feel like I don't even have to ask, but I still will. How are you doing today?
All right, so where do we begin?
Yeah, where do we begin? So the Bruins have made some moves, not necessarily the moves any of us expected or wanted. Floor is yours, Chris. Tell us all about it.
So yesterday was the NHL trade deadline, which is always an exciting time of year. But we all knew that the Bruins were going to be sellers going into this. We are probably due for a rebuild. We're not in a playoff spot as it stands right now. And there were some going into it. There were some pretty big moves made. We started. I guess I'll just go through some of them. Charlie Coyle. That was the first kind of. I don't know if it was a surprise, but the first sort of big move. Charlie Coyle, of course, the pride of Weymouth, was traded to the Colorado Avalanche for a D-man, Casey Mittelstadt, and a prospect, William Zellers, and a second-round pick in the 2025 draft.
All right. So for that one, how do you feel about the value the Bruins got in return for it?
I think this was a good move. Of all the moves that were made yesterday, I think this is the best one. We desperately need help on defense. Charlie Coyle is, I wouldn't say he's the biggest star on the team, but he was definitely at a point. He's got an expiring contract coming up. He's going to be expensive. And he has value, so remove him, get somebody good in return.
So more or less, you were okay with that one.
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay. All right.
About as good as I can be for a guy like Charlie Coyle being moved.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what other moves did they make?
They moved Mark McLaughlin yesterday too. He's been in and out. He's been in and out of the minors, in and out of the league. That's not a particularly sad move. I think that we got some good value for him too. There's also another rather surprising move. We brought back Jacob Lauko.
Okay.
Which he was. I thought that he was kind of a nobody when he was with us before.
Okay, fair.
So, I mean, whatever. Maybe he'll help. Maybe he won't. But I think, and we got rid of Justin Brazeau for that. He was sort of another drifter of a forward. Mm-hmm. But I think what everyone wants to hear me talk about, what everyone is looking for the reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Is Captain Brad Marchand has been traded to the Florida Panthers.
Yeah. So I guess, what does this feel like? How are you feeling? Do you need anything? What,
Drugs.
Your thoughts? Drugs. Yeah.
I need. It's not even the fact that we traded him. He's old. He's hurt. Maybe out for the rest of the year. Who knows? But getting slow on an expiring contract. But for the return that we are getting for a star like Brad Marchand, it's unacceptable.
Yeah.
I cannot. We're trading arguably one of the best forwards in the game, for sure Hockey Hall of Famer, for draft picks.
Yeah.
For draft picks, and we not even sure. One of those is a conditional pick, depending on whether or not he plays a certain number of games for the Panthers.
Right.
Which he's hurt right now, so he's not going to get that this year. He's who knows what he's going to look like next year for him if he's going to keep playing, if he's going to get hurt. If we want this 2026 first round pick and we don't want it to be a second round pick, He has to meet all these conditions that we have no control over.
Right. So, yeah. I mean, coming into the day, did you have any inclination the Bruins would make such a bold move?
No.
Yeah.
No. There was like rumors coming out, like the Vegas Golden Knights were interested in Marchand. Another big move that happened yesterday, we moved Trent Frederick too, because I guess that's what we're doing. We're getting rid of all the tough guys.
Right.
And he's a Maple Leaf now. That's great. That's fun.
I'm sure you love that.
But like for the first time in really recent memory, there's no Zdeno Chara, no Patrice Bergeron, no Brad Marchand. Like, how can you do this to the fans, to the team? It's just, I don't think that this was a good move. The return should have been much, much, much higher.
What would you have said would be like a fair trade? What would you have wanted if Don Sweeney called you up? I was like, Chris, we're gonna trade Brad Marchand to somebody. What do you think's fair value for him?
First of all, I'm not trading him in the Eastern Conference, let alone a team that's in our division.
Very fair. Yeah.
In a perfect world, he would have went to the Canucks or the Golden Knights.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have liked maybe another young winger, maybe a couple of D-men, and some draft picks.
Okay.
But you're moving the captain of the team.
Yeah. Yeah, what happens? I've never seen, obviously I'm not a hockey expert. What happens when a captain gets traded in the middle of the season?
Well, we have to find a new captain. Luckily, there are good options out there. I think the two names being discussed are David Pastrnak and Charlie McAvoy.
Mm-hmm. So it would just be like a team vote between those two.
I think it'll be up to the coach. I think the coach is the one that ultimately makes the decision.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be up to the coach. The players will get a say. I'm sure Sweeney will have something to say about it too.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so you wouldn't want to have been in the same conference. You would have wanted it out in the West. So what do you think would have been fair value? Like a first round pick without the conditions, or
first round pick without conditions, and at least a second or third line forward.
Mm-hmm. So not what the Bruins got. I mean, now what, Chris? What's next
now
for
what?
the Bruins?
Well, yeah. I'm going to be watching games next year. Like, who are these people?
Yeah.
I guess I'll be framing my Brad Marchand jersey.
Yep.
And I don't know. It looks like next year the rebuild begins.
Yeah, even before the Marchand trade, I think in our group chat, was it Rhett shared like a simulate to end of season, but
yeah,
like now we're really spamming the simulate to end of season. But
yeah.
So, sorry. Yeah,
I said yeah, but would the Chell like computer general manager trade Brad Marchand?
No, probably not. I guess from Florida's perspective, like how big of a get is this for them?
Florida was already a scary physical team to begin with. Now you're adding Brad Marchand to the same team as Matthew Tkachuk and Sam Bennett, which that's going to be a lot of fun to play against.
Right.
Two of the biggest rats in the league. Now you add Brad Marchand to that mix. They're going to win a cup again.
That TikToker is going to have to buy new gear now. He can't do his Brad Marchand character as the rat in Bruins gear anymore.
Yeah, I think I know the guy who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's very fun on TikTok. But oh man, he got blindsided, I'm sure too.
It's all of us. I think the reaction has almost universally been, "Why did you do this? How long has this been the plan? And why do you still have a job?" All of this directed to Don Sweeney.
Yeah. So, do you think just Don Sweeney's going to get fired after this season? I know we talked about maybe happening before.
I think if he's got to be on his way out the door. If he's setting the team on fire like this.
Yeah, and I think in our group chat too, you're like, I mean, obviously I like picks, but I don't like the idea of Don Sweeney being the one to make the picks.
No, he sucks at drafting. Last couple of
Oh,
years,
boy.
he's terrible.
What are we gonna do here, Chris?
Jump off a bridge.
All right, don't do that. We still need you to cover the rest of the league, even if we don't end up talking much Bruins for the rest of the season.
This is a nightmare, and I just want to wake up.
Yeah. Oh man. Anything else you want to add to this one before we get on out of here?
No, just John Sweeney hates to see this guy coming.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Chris. Anything you want to promote? Floor is yours.
So I'm on TikTok still. Chris Uminski's still on Twitter for now. That's at Chris_Uminski. I'm in a band, B6 Plus. Go follow us.
Yes,
The show's coming up. Show's coming up in April.
Nice. Where are you going to be playing?
We're going to be playing at the Hotel Vernon on April 25th in Worcester.
We're
also going to be playing
as it gets closer. So
we'll also be playing at JJ's Tavern on the 13th in Florence.
All right. So if you're local, go check Chris and his band out. They're very good, and it'll be, nice that you can get Chris's autograph. One for the band, one for the podcast. No, but please, if you're local, go check those shows out. Support your local artists, as they say. And yeah, Chris, anything else? We good?
Nope. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Yeah, no. Please go drown your sorrows or hang out. Just have a great rest of your weekend, because the start of the weekend not great to start. Oh yeah. Man. Well, thank you everyone so much for checking out. If you're watching the main podcast, please subscribe, all that. If you're watching this just as a clip, check out the main podcast, check out all of our other clips, all of the channels, and we will see you in the next one.